Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows.
Hey guys, I'm not a little cow.
So today we're doing a video. It's kind of a recap of what's been happening on our trip so far. So first, we left Maine. What day did we leave Maine?
January 7th.
January 7th, and we are still out of Maine in an undisclosed location. But
we could tell you, but we'd have to kill you.
When we first left Maine, we went to visit a friend outside Boston and stayed up and had a great time. Then we left. I don't know how many of these people want me sharing names, but some I have shared names with, whatever. So then we went from there and went to a very cold hilltop in Pennsylvania.
Very cold.
It was a Cracker Barrel, and it was 16 degrees outside with winds blowing 15 miles per hour, and it really was on top of a hill. I don't know how I got the camper up there, but I've done all the driving. It's been really crazy. So that was our second night on the trip. Third night on the trip, we stayed in some parking lot in Virginia.
Walmart, I think.
Walmart parking lot in Virginia. Next night, we stayed at a church in Kingsport, Tennessee, and it was great. We met some friends at a park. We were supposed to go to their house, and they had a child come down sick, an older child come down sick. So the mom and dad and a couple of the siblings met us at the park. The kids loved the park. It was really big, lots of cool stuff to do. And Mark got a really close friend. So we had met this man and another man that we were going to be going to church with on Sunday. First time we were meeting them. We've been Facebook friends. And I look over, and Mark is having one of his neurological spells. And this friend helped by bringing Mark over onto his shoulder. So Mark was napping on this guy's shoulder.
I got a big hug.
And so Mark really scared them that night as they tried to get him to the car, helping us out. And Josiah had a seizure at the park, so life was crazy.
During a spell can be very entertaining.
Yes.
Or scary, whichever.
He really thought Mark was going to fall out of the car. So, trying not to shake this too much while we do this video. No. So then Mark keeps laughing over here and shaking my arm. So then the next day we went to visit our friends Catherine and Charlie. We met them down in Key West, and they now live in Tennessee. And we had a great time with them. Decided we'd spend a little more time with them. They took us out to dinner. And while we were at the restaurant, a huge thunderstorm came through with crazy, crazy winds. And there was hail and tornado warnings where our camper was parked. So we ended up hanging out at Bojangles for about 2 hours, which meant we got some extra visiting in, and that was great. We had so much fun with Catherine and Charlie and all the kids. There were a whole lot of kids running through that Bojangles that night. There's no one else there, just our two families. So that was really fun to catch up with them. And so that was a Saturday night. We got back to the camper really late and got on the road really early the next morning. We don't normally travel on Sundays, but because of some other circumstances, we had to get the camper pulled to the next town and parked before we could go to church because we had to go to a baptism service that afternoon. So we went to, we got up the hill that we were told we might not get up. We got up it just fine, got the camper parked. That was after dumping the camper, the poop tank, Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Getting up the hill and getting it parked, which worked out great. We went off to church, and it was a lovely,
awesome,
family-integrated, worshipful, New Testament patterned church service. It was a blessing. It was a great time of fellowship, and it was great to see people who were looking at the pattern of multiple men speaking and teaching through scriptures. And then we got to see some friends that we haven't seen in a couple years. We stayed at their house multiple years ago. They have 12 children. There were lots of children. Most of the people in the church had lots of children anyway, and then adding the family of 12.
It was the giant van convention, basically.
It's fun.
From multiple states, 4 states.
So then we went from there to a baptism down this little windy road that I thought I was going to fall off the side of the mountain.
In January.
3 girls got baptized in the river in January, and it was a lovely, lovely time. And
all by their daddies.
Woo! And we saw
Go daddies.
A great, just God's provision. Uriah ran into a wire that was there, kind of like a fence post wire thing.
Clotheslined
himself right under the eye, like right here. And it was bright red for days, but he did not hurt his eyeball at all. And that could have just been huge. So we just thank God for safety in that. So we got to spend time with those families. And then almost all the people went back to the house that we were staying at, which was really fun to spend more time with them. And that was, I got the van stuck as we drove in that night. So Nick was very, very great and got the van out for me. So then...
Never seen a farm boy that excited. You got the van stuck again. Woohoo!
So that was the first time we got it stuck.
Oh, sorry, that was the first time.
Yeah. So then the next day, Mark and Nick and his family went out, and a couple of our kids went out to the abortion mill there and were able to preach the word, and that was just a great encouragement for our family to see that. And
Wendell and family as well.
Oh yeah, Wendell and family went. And then I was able to stay back, and they were nice enough to let me use their house to do some bathing and some laundry for us. So that worked out really great.
Necessary items.
Yes, when you are in a camper and you don't have hookup to water, showers and laundry are great things. So I did that, and then we all spent the afternoon together, where we tried to pull the camper out because we knew we were getting rain that night, and we got the van stuck again. So
twice in 2 days.
So Nick helped us get the van out, and he was having a great time, and Mark and him also found that we had a leak in our sewer system, which meant that we were leaking sewage, and Nick helped with that. And just seeing Nick's face, so excited to help our family, was a true blessing from God, because I know it was really stressing Mark out. So that was just a wonderful, wonderful experience that God gave us too.
And then you woke up with that bad headache.
Yes. So then we were going to leave the next morning, a Tuesday morning, and I woke up with a horrendous headache where if I opened my eyes, I felt really nauseous. Couldn't sit up or anything, and I have to drive the camper from Tennessee to Atlanta, Georgia, going through traffic and everything.
In the rain.
In the rain. So they were nice enough to let our family come in the house for a little while that morning, as we weren't planning on being around. We were just going to get up and leave. And my family let me nap for another 2 hours and get some medicine in me, and I was finally able to get us down the road. My headache did go away as the day went on, but that was nice for them to let us in. Sorry, the baby's... He's okay. He's just coughing over here. He's sleeping, starting to wake up. And so that was really great. And so I had that headache on Tuesday. We got to Douglasville, Georgia, and parked at a church there. And the next few days we went to the G3 conference, which was amazing. What do you want to say about the G3 conference?
It was overwhelming, but it was awesome.
Mark had multiple spells.
My wheelchair was my friend that couple of days. But I had lots of good time even in my wheelchair.
We got to meet lots of people that we've been Facebook friends with that we had never met before.
Right.
We got to meet some of our favorite speakers that we've looked up to. One of those being Dr. Waite.
James White, Alpha Omega Ministries. And he had a cool surprise for Virginia.
Yeah.
You can tell him about that.
Virginia got a Bible. Her Bible has been falling apart because she's been memorizing. I mean, maybe not because she's been memorizing, but she's had her Bible open so much that a page fell out. And Dr. Waite and Jeffrey Rice and Catherine Rice blessed her with a new Bible that is beautiful, and she's been using it. So that was fun to meet all of them. We got to meet Bobby McCreary and family that we had never met before, and now we're going to be able to do that. On our way back, we'll be able to spend more time with them, because at the conference we just got to see them for the, just seeing them at the booth a little bit.
Because they were busy serving and volunteering and doing a billion other things. That's their busiest time of year. So we're hoping to stop on the way back north and visit with them for a couple of days to actually just get to spend time with their family and hopefully be an encouragement to them. So
Bobby McCreary and family are street evangelists. He preaches and they go out handing out tracts and things. End of the Earth Ministries. To the End of the Earth, yep. To the Ends of the Earth. Yep. So that was a really great time. We got to meet some of the people from Gospel for Asia. We saw Scott and Deborah Brown from NCFIC.
Yep, National Center for Family Integrated Churches. So.
That was a good time to talk to them. Mark and Virginia were given the book. What is the book you're reading right now?
Ryan Denton's?
Yes.
Even If None. Awesome book about evangelism. Absolute necessity. It needs to be read. It needs to be shared. When I get done with my copy, I'll be passing it around.
What was that organization? First Love Publications?
First Love Publications, yeah.
They do give out free books of a bunch of different really good authors. So go ahead and look them up. First Love Publications. There's going to be a whole lot of links here.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a long description on this video if I ever get all the links. Yeah.
So we did that. Who else did we meet? Oh, we met Justin Peters, who we've really enjoyed listening to as he talks about the Word of Faith movement and the falsehoods in that, how that is not the true gospel, but he has cerebral palsy like Josiah does, and so he's just been an encouragement to see someone who, even with a disability, is out there serving God so faithfully. So we saw him a couple times, got to hear Vodi Bakum, got to hear Paul Washer, got to hear James White. There were other speakers. Oh, we got to talk to Todd Friel. Todd Friel does the show Wretched, the radio program Wretched, and he did a couple interviews. One with Vodi Bakum. We didn't get to hear all of that because the sound wasn't good where we were sitting.
Right.
And then he did Steve Lawson
and Phil Johnson.
And so it was interesting listening to them, but also we got to meet his crew. Virginia and Naomi went up to talk to some of his crew, and we got to meet a very nice young man named Handel. And what was the other guy that we talked to? Jack.
Yep.
Got to meet Jack. He was very nice too. And so that was just a real fun time to talk to them. And Todd Friel is just as zany in person as he is on the radio.
Yeah,
and
that's not a stage
fun.
thing. I think he's actually like that.
So G3 was just amazing. It was amazing. And for anyone who has been to G3 in the past, they are changing it up. And so the next one is going to be in October of 2021. And then it will only be every other year down here in October. And then they'll be doing regional conferences, other places, possibly New England. So keep a lookout for that.
We're fighting for the main, not just New England region, but like we would love to see a conference in Maine.
So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so we went to that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Also heard the Gettys, Keith and Kristen Getty.
The
they
Getty
are
concert.
Amazing.
We forgot about that part.
They're
that
amazing.
Was awesome.
That was awesome. And so.
And the police officers.
Oh, yes. We met 2 police officers on our way out the first night. Living in a camper, we only have so much room to store bathroom waste. So we were using the bathrooms before we left the conference center, and they were trying to get people out of the building. So I just said, I explained to the police officer, we live in a camper. Could we just finish the bathrooms? He's like, oh, yeah, that's great. And so we started talking to them, and one of the officers was a father of 9, and the other officer was a father of 7. And then the father of 9 asked our son, do you know what I like to do when I'm not working or something like that? And he said street evangelism. Yeah. So it was very, very cool to talk to them. And
my kind of guy.
We really wanted to get a picture with them, but we never saw them again. So you can be praying for all police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. They put in a lot of work every day. Our family prays for them every day for their safety and stuff. So
firefighters too, yeah.
I think I said that.
Maybe.
Police officers, firefighters, EMTs.
We'll say firefighters twice. That's 3 times now.
So just praying for them as they put their lives on the line for people every day. So, so that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah.
Saturday, we moved across town in Atlanta and went to another church. What's the name of that church?
Atlanta Reformation Fellowship.
Okay. We parked there and then went over to our friend Gerald and Pamela Scarborough's house and had a lovely time with them. We knew them when we lived in McDonough, Georgia, and have had many interactions with them over gospel work.
10 years
and
now?
Yeah, it's been a long time. And they are great people, and we went to their house. They have kids that are similar ages to Virginia, Naomi, and Samuel.
Yeah.
Virginia and Naomi. And Samuel's friends, their youngest is a boy, so Samuel's friends with him.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun with them. She made an amazing chicken dish that was really yummy that I still need to get a recipe for. And hung out with them.
Sent us home with leftovers. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we went the next day to their church, Sunday, and they again had a New Testament patterned kind of assembly. Not assembly, but a church. I don't know what they call themselves.
The meeting was patterned after what you would read about in the New Testament. Yes.
So they did a breaking of bread. Different men spoke. And then the Sunday that we were there, one of the men from the congregation who had never spoken before shared about abortion, as he does abortion ministry. So it was the Sunday of
Sanctity of Life Sunday. Yeah.
So he was preaching about what he does when he goes out to the abortion mill on Sundays. So that was good. And then we had lunch there and got to meet some really awesome families as we talked there.
We were told by one family that we have a nice little starter family. We have 8 children. Well, they have 10. And there's multiple families in the church that have lots and lots of children, which is awesome.
It was great to go to those two churches and see all the families and the kids sitting there with their parents learning, God's word right there in the congregation. It was great. So that was on Sunday.
That was a little over a week ago, yeah.
A little over a week ago, and we left there on Monday morning to come to our undisclosed, however you...
It's in the greater Tampa area.
We're in the Tampa area, and so if you've been following us on Facebook, you've seen pictures of the different places we've gone, and we will do a video of all this. But if you are seeing this, you can be praying for our family, as the second day we were in the Tampa area, we went to Lakeland to visit my mom, who happened to be in Florida also. And while we were at the playground, Naomi fell and broke her collarbone. Ended up with an ER visit, but discussing with doctors, we have decided to hold off. Like, the doctors have said that it's okay to hold off on surgery for now, and we will follow up as necessary. But if you could be praying for our family, Naomi at 12 is a big help to our family, just as if Daddy has spells, being able to help push the wheelchair, helping to hold the baby, helping to get people's lunches, and those things are not happening for her right now, and it's involving a little more of Mommy's time, as Naomi is doing well. She's not having a lot of pain and stuff, but I have to help her with certain tasks.
She's also our super energetic one, and having to basically lay still a lot of the day is not her kind of thing.
She's
so
getting in a lot of
patience
reading.
with her too, because she's struggling with that.
But
she's reading a lot. Yeah.
Yes, but she's doing well. She's not having pain, and it's just causing Mommy to need to spend a little more time doing that and certain things she can't help with. We have found some ways that she can hold the baby, or we can prop him up for her to watch him so that I can get some other stuff done. So that is what is going on here. We're going to give a picture of the baby before we go. He's laying here on my bed. There he is. Oh.
Got him wiggling now.
I scared him. So that's it for herding little cows tonight. We will be here for a little while longer, and then we will move on to our next place. And we were going to do a trip on our way home through Washington, D.C., but that trip has been canceled. The friends we were going to see are no longer going there. So we will possibly be traveling back to see some of these families we mentioned in this video. So I think that's all we have for tonight. Anything else? So that's all. Thank you for joining Herding Little Cows.
Bye-bye.